I'm Doug Hohenstein. I'm a private pilot and I received my training at Northwest Flight School. So I've always wanted to learn to fly ever since I was a little kid. At my house when I was about 7, Saturdays were days for chores, and if you got all your chores done before Mom went to the grocery store, you could go. And that was a big deal because, of course, 7-year-olds in the early 70s were into comic books and that kind of stuff. So I'd gone to the store and went to the magazine rack, and while Mom was shopping, and I must not have found any comic books that I either wanted or already had, but I happened to pick up a flying magazine, and I was looking through it, and in the middle, and I talked my mom into buying the flying magazine for me, because in the middle of it there was a fold-out of a Cessna 172's cockpit. And I took that home and I pulled that big fold-out out, and I got a moving box out of the attic, and I cut that up and I pasted that cockpit in the moving box, and for 3 weeks I flew that box in my room until it fell apart. And ever since I was a little kid I wanted to fly. Over the years, probably over the course of 3 years, I had taken lessons all around the Northwest, in Alaska, Western Washington, Southern Idaho, and even in Montana. My first cross country was from Bozeman to Helena and back. But out of all the flight schools, Northwest Flight School is probably the most professional. Everybody at Northwest Flight School is consistent. I stayed with the same instructor. There's not a lot of instructors coming and going. Everybody's there because they love flying and they love to teach people how to fly. So so here at Northwest Flight School, we've actually been more of a part of the community than any of the flight schools previously, working with, especially raising the awareness for the public that, hey, there is a flight school, and aviation can be interesting and challenging, and not just, it doesn't make, it's not just about learning to fly, but learning to fly makes you better in other things too, and especially in your professional life, in your personal life, setting goals and planning and things like that. You got to be kind of organized to be a pilot, and that helps you. But preaching that message that aviation is not just about going out and drilling holes in the sky, but it can be a great asset to the community and things like that. It allows you to leave everything, all your daily pressures, everything that's going on in your life. It allows you to leave them on the ground, and you just worry about flying for an hour or two, or however long you're up in the air, because you got to pay attention to flying the plane and navigating, and that's all you're thinking about, and enjoying the view. Really, when we fly in an airliner, we only get to see the ground for 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it. But when you're 3,000 feet above the ground, flying somewhere, it gives you a whole perspective of just how small humans are and how fortunate we are to get to live in such a beautiful world.